If the polls are to be believed,
do solemnly swear.
One of these two men will again take the oath of office, but in the lead-up, Americans are grimacing at the fact this is the best each party could bring forth.
This Biden-Trump fatigue is very real, and it's only going to get worse as the year goes on.
But it's this blast from the past that voters are wishing had stayed out of sight, saying it highlights how neither party speaks to a majority of the country.
It goes without saying, plenty of Americans do not want either of these men to be president, let alone be their party's respective nominee or even in the running to be a candidate. As comedian George Carlin explains.
Let me say one thing about choice. There is no real choice. They say freedom of choice. You're given an illusion of choice. Americans are meant to feel free by the exercise of meaningless choices. You don't have, you know what the choices are in this country? Paper or plastic, aisle or window, smoking or non-smoking. Those are your real choices.
And, as he put in previous specials, the idea of choice to Americans is all an illusion.
So if somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself. Go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
Speaking of Elon Musk.
Suppose a white racist from South Africa becomes an American citizen. Couldn't he call himself an African American? If for no other reason than just to bother black people. And what about a black person born in South Africa who becomes an American citizen? Is he an African American or is he a South African American? Or is he simply a South African American African American? You know, it's just so much more tedious liberal labeling.
Carlin rips many as he spoke at the National Press Club.
We did the largest tax cuts in history.
In Unearthed video, Donald Trump in Palm Beach, Florida, is seen giving a speech to potential donors, which unjustifiably speaks to how our politicians do not serve our own interests, but rather theirs, the ultra-wealthy.
All it is now is the search for dollars and the search for the things that dollars buy, and there's very little of a core humanity left. It happens, it works on the individual level and on the small scale. On the large scale, it's all a human comedy, it's all a joke, and I try to treat it as that. I see this culture as circling the drain in ever faster and tighter circles, and I just observe it and enjoy observing. I root for that demise of this culture. I root for the demise of this species. It just happens to be my hobby to kind of root for all this stuff to go away and give another species a chance, perhaps. I root for the big comet. I root for the big asteroid. I honestly do. And I did that before those movies came out. I honestly do. I think we've had a turn. Let someone else have it.
Figure this out, Madam Speaker. We have a very, very urban Senator, Barack Obama.
Well, first of all, what is very, very urban? Why don't you just go ahead and say black? He has played with racial language before, and this is no different. He is an embarrassment to the people of Iowa and to the U.S. Congress.
Speaking of this word that should have caught your attention, Carlin has a take.
And while we're at it, when did the word urban become synonymous with the word black? Did I sleep through this, perhaps? Urban styles, urban trends, urban music. I was not consulted on this at all again. Didn't get an email, didn't get a fax, didn't get a postcard. That's fine. Let them go.
Okay, thank you very much for being here as we commemorate the return of historic Native American artifacts and sacred remains to American soil. It's a big thing. They've been working on this for a long time, long time, many, many years. As my administration did last year, an increase in Native American access to eagle feathers. My administration is fighting for Native American communities. We made the largest investment in Indian country in the history of our country. We have $8 billion in CARES Act funds to protect Native American health. $8 billion, that's the largest amount of money ever spent on the Indian reservations. I created task forces on missing and murdered American Indians and protecting Native American children.
In addition, Carlin objects to the term Native American being used, and here is why.
And I simply can't justify this awkward phrase, Native Americans. First of all, they're not natives. They came here from Asia over the Bering Land Bridge. In fact, there are no natives anywhere in the world. Everyone is from somewhere else. All people are refugees, immigrants, or aliens. If there are natives anywhere, it would have to be people still living in the Great Rift Valley in Africa. So everyone is just visiting. So much for native. As far as calling them Americans is concerned, well, how can I say this? We steal their hemisphere, destroy 500 cultures, kill 20 million, stick the rest of them on the worst land we can find, and then as a special bonus, we name them after ourselves. It's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing.
My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, okay? It has nothing to do with color of your skin, any of that stuff.
Republican Eli Crane showed you who he was on the House floor.
So I would like to tell you how I handle some of these speech issues concerning minorities. First of all, I say black. I say black because most black people prefer black. I don't say people of color because it's dishonest. It means precisely the same thing as colored people, which is an insult. So if you're not willing to say colored people, you shouldn't be willing to say people of color. And besides, to me, the whole idea of color seems a bit specious, really. I mean, what should we call white people? People of no color? Isn't pink a color? And in fact, white people are not really white at all. They're different shades of pink and olive and beige. In other words, they're colored. People of color is an awkward phrase that obscures meaning rather than enhancing it. What shall we call fat people? People of size?
While Carlin rightfully goes after the Cranes of the world for their narrow-minded stupidity.
In 2021, the U.S. military budget crossed the $800 billion mark. That's more than the next 9 largest militaries combined. So it's no surprise that America, with all that money to spend, has the most expensive war machines on the planet.
Oh yeah, and speaking of not looking out for the people that put them in office, the military-industrial complex is the ultimate BS.
Where the military is concerned, the extent of a politician's insincerity can be measured by how far around the world our soldiers are stationed and whether or not any of them can pronounce it. Incidentally, another way of expressing this sentiment is to say we're sending our young men and women to places the average American can't find on a map. I've always thought it was kind of funny and somewhat out of character for a politician to go out of his way to point out the low level of American intelligence when indeed his very job depends upon it.
Lastly, we end with a poem from Carlin. Have a listen.
I'm a man for the millennium, digital and smoke-free. I've been inputted, outsourced, uplinked, and downloaded. I have software on my hard drive, and I can give you a gigabyte in a nanosecond. I'm factory-authorized, returnable, fully equipped, built to last, and I'm definitely biodegradable. My output is down, but my income is up. I'm tanned, rested, and market-tested, user-friendly, and lactose-intolerant. A diversified, multicultural, postmodern deconstructionist. I'm a cutting-edge, state-of-the-art, high-concept rageaholic, and I have a love child who sends me hate mail. I'm an alpha male on beta blockers, a bottom feeder and a top gun, a Bigfoot rainmaker. I give soft money with hard cash, and my revenue stream has a cash flow of its own. I'm ahead of the curve, riding the wave and pushing the envelope. I'm on board, on point, on message, but off drugs. I take power naps. I take victory laps. I've got a personal trainer, a personal shopper, and a personal agenda. I'm a totally ongoing slam dunk no-brainer with an outreach that's proactive. I eat junk food, I get junk mail, I buy junk bonds, I watch trash sports. I've been dumbed down with smart bombs. I'm in denial, I'm in recovery, but I'm out of the loop. I'm also on the bubble. A high-tech lowlife, anatomically, ecologically, and politically incorrect. An entry-level man with no exit strategy. Low rent but high maintenance. Upscale but down home. I got a minivan with a microwave from a mega store in the mini mall. I've been to outer space. I've been to outer space on the internet. I'm a non-believer and an overachiever, emotionally deprived and market-oriented. I have hardcore software because I use the F word in my email. I'm new wave from the old school, and if I'm not at ground zero, you can reach me at square one. I'm gender-specific, voice-activated, capital-intensive, heat-seeking, faith-based, and work-related, but I'm definitely not group-oriented. I'm online, I'm in line, but most of the time I'm out of line. I'm cocked, locked, and ready to rock, rough, tough, and hard to bluff. I put the pedal to the metal, party hardy, and to me, lunchtime is crunch time. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. If there are any stories that you want to bring to our attention, whether it is the local level, collegiate level, professional level, national level, that you think would be worthy of a story and us covering, there are so many hours in a day and only so much we see. Submit them to me. Get at me on Twitter, on Instagram, and TikTok. Send me a DM, send me a tweet, what have you. We appreciate it. Hope you have a great day.